Hi, everybody. Here we are again. The last day of January, right? The 31st. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I can't believe it. Absolutely can't believe it. I am fairly sure all of you have these little bands at home that are in our group. But if you don't, I'm going to give you, of course, options. And then I'd like you to have some medium to lighter size weights with you, and then maybe one heavier weight. Okay, so you have options to have one heavier weight. So I'm even going to grab a third option here. I have 7 pound weights. I have a 10 pound and 15 pounds. I like having all the options. So I want you to have options too. So if you have all different size weights, I want you to grab them and just keep them close by, including your little bands. I'm going barefoot today for a workout. So as you know, we don't need shoes. We want to think about connecting through your feet. But if you feel more comfortable with sneakers on, please wear them. All right, we are going to get started with our workout. And we're going to begin with body weight squats. So let's begin connecting through your feet. I want you to come up tall, right? So if you think of posture, we want to come up tall evenly in the front and the back, okay? So not just tall, kind of like that military chest out, right? So tall evenly in the front and the back. And I challenge you to take your hands, take one here and one here. So that way when you hinge back into your squat, you keep that, right? You don't arch more at your low back or let go of your ab engagement in the front. So keep this nice stacked position, hinge down, and come up. So we're going to inhale down, and then exhale up, squeeze those glutes. When you come up, just come back up to neutral. Don't shove your hips forward, right? So we're going to inhale down, and then exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. So think about connecting through your feet, right? So keep your big toe down, press through your outer heel. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice work. Take your hands on your hips. Let's do some hip circles. So bring those hips around. I say this every week, but this is my favorite movement. And reverse directions. Okay. Nice work, everybody. Let's split your stance. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, a little bend in the front knee and arms out. All right, we're going to open up towards your front hip. Pause and then come back. Okay. So exhale, open. Watch your hand with your eyes. So you want your head to follow. Exhale, open. So you want your head to follow where your chest is turning. 2 more. And 1 more. All right, nice job. Switch sides. Okay, so arms out in front, little bend in that knee. Exhale, open to the front hip. Inhale, come back. Exhale, open. Inhale back. So for my friends that live in warm areas, Mom, Laura, I think that's it. For people that live in warmer areas, it is going to be Friday night. They say negative 17 degrees. And they probably just screamed. All right, so let's take your arms, bend those elbows. You're going to come in and out. But yes, they say negative 17. I don't know what the actual feels like temperature is. I'm sure it feels colder than that. But that is insane. All right, press those arms up. Thank God you have all these exercise videos to keep you warm, my East Coast friends. Or I should say my Northeast friends, New England friends. 1 more. All right, nice job. Roll those shoulders back. So exercise number 1, we have reverse lunges, or you can always go to a split squat or a regular squat, okay? So you can always go back to your regular squat or a stationary lunge, also known as split squat, where you're here, okay? But if you're feeling up to the challenge of adding a little bit, as long as your form looks good, we're going to do reverse lunges, okay? So all on one side to start. You're going to come down and up, all right? So I have a weight, If you want to use a weight, I challenge you to grab a little bit of a heavier weight and offset yourself. So you have a little bit of a bend in that elbow, right? So I have a little bend in the elbow. It's away from my body and it's on the same side as my back leg. So I'm offsetting myself. I'm going to come down and up into this split, reverse lunge, I'm sorry, or split squat, okay? So you can step into it, come back, or stay stationary, down and up. Okay, so we're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. If you're doing regular squats, I want you just to take a pause in between and then do another 30 seconds. And here we go. So we're gonna inhale down, exhale up. Connect through your front foot, right? So every time I have somebody lately who has been having knee pain with squats or split squats or lunges, I have them connect through their foot so they do their tripod foot setup and their knee pain significantly decreases or goes away. So try that out. And 3, 2, 1, switch sides. All right, so like I said, I have this little bend in my elbow, right? So you can either keep that split squat or step into it. This time I'm gonna step into it in 3, 2, 1. So you're down and up. So you see my head's following where my chest is pointing. I'm not staring up at the ceiling. I'm connecting through that foot. So this is gonna be the highest level, this down and up, stepping into an option. And 3, 2, 1, nice work. All right, so we're starting off with a bang. We have push-ups, okay? So we're gonna do some quick transitions today to help keep your heart rate up a little bit. So you can either come to the floor, go to the wall, or an inclined surface, right? So for your wall push-ups, elbows are gonna be at that 45-degree angle, up on those tippy toes, down and up, down and up. Farther away from the wall you are, the harder it is, but you don't want to be so far away where you're like, you know, that would mean that you have to be going to the next level, an inclined surface. So maybe your kitchen counter, this is a little bit low, but a good challenge for me. Down and up, right? Or kneeling on the floor. Same thing, elbows at that 45-degree angle. So I'm coming down to the floor. And 3, 2, 1. So inhale down, exhale up. I want you to get at least 5 reps in of good repetition. So challenge yourself. Nice and tall through the crown of your head. Inhale down, exhale up. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, we're gonna come on up. If you're coming up from the floor, please don't hop up super quickly, right? Take your time and make sure you're not dizzy. Once you're here, you're gonna maybe grab a weight, maybe not. You can either squat, split squat, or reverse lunge, okay? You want the weight in the opposite leg that you have in front. All right, connect through your feet in 3, 2, 1. So we're down, drive up. Inhale down, exhale. If you want to hold on to something for balance, maybe just put your fingertips on the wall. So I lost a little bit of that tripod foot there and I could feel, that didn't feel great on my knee and my hip. And 3, 2, 1, switch sides. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. Squeeze that glute on the way up, right? You have a little bit of a hinge forward. I don't want you bending forward, right? That little bit of a natural hinge, then drive on up. And 3, 2, 1, nice work. All right, we are moving into push-ups, round 2. So inclined surface, the wall, or the floor, okay? So I want you to get at least 5 repetitions in. When you end your push-up, I want you to make sure you're really pushing up through, like we're reaching through your armpit, okay? So don't sink into your shoulder blades. Push up through your armpits, okay? Here we go. Inhale down, exhale, press. "15 seconds. Keep your abs engaged. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, awesome job. So we're gonna move on up. One more time for these, right? And then we're gonna move on to 2 new exercises. These might feel like the most intense ones of the workout, okay? So we get these over first. So maybe grab a weight. Okay. Choose whatever foot you want to go first. Put the weight in the opposite hand. Come up nice and tall through the crown of your head. Stack your posture. Here we go. Inhale down. Exhale up. Last time for these. So you're going to find something to look at. Maybe just soften your gaze on that's not moving. "15 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. All right, let's go the other side. And 3, 2, 1. Last 30 seconds for these. Squeeze that glute on the way up. Give it a squeeze. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, everybody. Let's come on down to the floor or the wall or the inclined surface. You choose. All right, we have push-ups. I'm coming down to the floor. Last time for these. 5 seconds and we go. And 3, 2, 1. So inhale down, exhale, press. Think about keeping those abs engaged, right? So I don't want you to squeeze your glutes real tight. My glutes are pretty relaxed here. If you find a hard time keeping your abs engaged, maybe take a pillow or a towel, roll it up, put it between your thighs and squeeze. Just a little bit of a squeeze can help get your abs engaged, your low abs specifically. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, awesome job. So we are gonna come back up to standing if you're on the floor, and this is when you want to use your band if you have a band. If you don't have a band, I'm going to give you another option for this exercise, but if you do have a band, take a seat. You're going to put it around your ankles, okay? So you can sit down to do this, so that way you're not hopping around. No falling risks here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to stay up nice and tall, right? Tiny bend in your knees. So soft knees, or just not locking them out, but I'm not having you squat. Stacking your ribs over your hips, right? So tall through the crown of your head. Toes stay forward. They're not going to turn out. I want you to start with your ankles apart so there's tension. Okay? You're going to take more tension. Take an inch, step that way, an inch this way. Teeny tiny steps, okay? Little one. So there's always going to be tension. It's just more tension, less tension, more tension. So your ankle should never come real close and you shouldn't feel that band really release, okay? And then we'll head back. We're gonna do this for 45 seconds, okay? So you're just gonna make yourself going back and forth. You can maybe take like 5 to 10 steps one way, 5 to 10 steps the other way. If you don't have a band, you're gonna just lightly hold on to something, right? Little bend in your standing leg. You're gonna bring your foot out and back. Out and back nice and slow, toes pointed forward, controlling it in both directions. So from the front, you see this. Okay, nice and slow. You're not swinging your leg out too far, right? Just enough where you feel this side and then come back. Okay, so I'll let you know when to switch legs for that. All right, so make sure this band is around your ankles if you have one. Soft knees, toes are going to always point forward. Start with some tension, and here we go. Stay nice and stacked. Teeny tiny steps. It's like a sideways inchworm, right? So I'm just going to go back and forth the length of my poster here. All right, we're halfway. So if you're doing your leg lifts without the band, this is when you switch. And if you are doing this, right about now, I want you to go back to the start because we have 6 seconds. So that way we kind of even it out. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Shake those legs out. So you should feel a little bit of a burn on the sides, okay? So I'm going to have you grab your lighter weights. You can take your band off if you want. So you're going to grab your lighter weights and we're going to do back flies, okay? So before we set up for your back fly, you want to set your stance, right? So you want to come up tall, dip those abs up a little bit, soft knees. We want to keep this and then hinge forward, okay? So I don't want you to just hinge forward and then try to connect everything. So nice and tall in the front and the back. Keep this nice core canister, a little bit of engagement, and then tip forward, right? And that's where we can go into your back fly, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna set myself up with my weights. Palms are gonna face in. I'm gonna hinge forward, soft bend in my knees. All right, so our arms are gonna fly out like a bird and then come back in. Here we go. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale over. So this is nice and controlled. I'm lifting my arm. My shoulder blades are coming down and together, so not up. So I'm gonna pull my shoulders away from my ears with this. And control your weight, so no swinging. Exhale out. Inhale down, 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, so come on back to your band sidewalks, or you can do your leg lifts, okay? So take a seat to put that on, or if you feel comfortable putting it on standing, that's fine. I'm actually gonna move this. So I'm gonna tell everybody, if you have enough room to just keep walking for these, keep going until I say halfway, and then you can come back. If you're in a little bit of a constraint for space, try to kind of even out in both directions, okay? So we're gonna go 45 seconds here. Here we go, little steps. So I will let you know when we get halfway. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna get out of the picture if I keep walking. Little steps, right? Keep your toes forward, so don't let your hip rotate out. And 3, 2, 1, we're halfway. So we're gonna get that other side, other direction. Nice and stacked here, my ribs are down. A little bit of a burn. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Whew, all right, awesome. So we're gonna go to our back flies again. Okay, so you wanna grab your lighter weight, right? So I would say anywhere between like 2 and 8 pounds. 8's heavy though. 8 is really heavy. You know it's too much weight if your head bobs and you're trying to swing those back, or if you feel it here or in your low back, it's going to be too heavy or your form is off a little bit, right? We want to feel it right in the middle here. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and together, all right? So not up, down, okay? So grab those weights, engage those abs, hinge forward. Here we go. Exhale out, inhale back from the front. You see out and down, nice and controlled in both directions. Tiny bend in those elbows, right? So your arms are not locked out. You have a little bend. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, we're going to do these one more time before we take it to the floor. Okay. All right. You ready? We got 45 seconds. And here we go. So I will let you know once we get halfway. Super small steps, right? SSS. That's great for someone with a lisp to say, like myself. You're probably used to it by now, though. All right, we're halfway. Switch directions, change legs, change lead legs. It's time for these. Breathe. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Take your band off. Awesome job. All right, so we have one more time for back flies, and then we're going to come down to the floor, okay? All right. Okay, we have soft knees, little zip up of the abs, ribs over hips. We're going to hinge forward. Keep that back nice and flat, right? So we're not rounding or arching. We're keeping a nice neutral spine. Here we go. Exhale out, inhale down. 30 seconds here. Ten seconds. Try not to swing those weights. Try to keep your head in line. Don't jet your chin forward. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, we're going to come to the floor. You don't need any equipment. You just want a mat. All right, so we're keeping side planks in there with the optional leg lift, all right? So you have that beautiful leg lift option. That's going to be quite challenging. So I only want you to do that if you feel like your side planks are easy, right? So let's get set up for side planks. We're going to get, if anybody knows me, this is like one of my favorite exercises. We do it all the time, right? So elbow under the shoulder. We're going to take this bottom knee and we're going to scoot it back, okay? That way when we come up, your hips are extended. You can extend your top leg or keep your knees stacked. And if you do the leg lift option, this leg is going to lift up and down, and I'll walk you through that once we get up into the plank. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. So press up through your shoulder blade, lift your hips. If you need to readjust your knee, that's fine, but we want to be extended. Take your top hip, rotate it in towards your mat slightly so you hollow out those obliques. And if you want, you can lift and lower. Try not to let your head drop, right? So nice and tall through the crown of your head, and you're really actively pressing up through your shoulder. So you're not sinking into your shoulder blade. Three, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, so we can switch sides. Remember, that leg lift is only in addition if you're feeling really, really confident in these plain side planks, okay? So remember, you can have your knees together, leg extended, optional leg lift. And 3, 2, 1. Elbow under the shoulder. Come on up. Move that knee back so you can extend at the hips. Rotate your hip down slightly, and then maybe add a leg lift. If you're adding that leg lift, we're going to exhale, lift, inhale down. Nice 360 umbrella breath. Feel those ribs expand. 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, we're going to move into bird dogs. We have not done these in a while, so we're going to do these today, okay? If you have any issues with being in a position on your wrist, I want you to take a towel or roll your mat, give you a little bit of a cushion. And if you do have wrist issues being in a position where your weight is on it, I want you to let me know. Reach out to me because there is a cool exercise that you can do to help alleviate some of that wrist pain, strengthening the hand so that way you're able to tolerate those loads. Anyway, all right, so we're going to come into a tabletop position, okay? So really thinking about the setup before we start the movement. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, tiny bend in the elbows, right? We don't want to walk out and have hyperextended arms. And I want you to reach forward through the crown of your head as if there is a wall in front of me. I'm like reaching my crown of my head towards it. I'm not looking up. It's the top of my head, okay? I'm actively pushing up through my shoulders and I'm zipping my abs up, okay? So I don't want you arching your back. We want to come into a neutral pelvic position, zip those abs up. And we're gonna extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Optional, keep the toe down and slide the foot, or you can lift, okay? When you lift, we're not arching, we're keeping your torso as still as possible, okay? So no movement should be coming through your trunk. You're using your abs to stabilize your spine and your hips. So let's do them all on one side first, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. So we're not alternating, all right? So we're gonna do 20 seconds on each side. So find your setup, take a great 360 inhale. Exhale, zip your abs up. All right, so this is how we're gonna stay engaged during the movement. You might have to engage more as we extend out, but you wanna stay with this abdominal brace as you're breathing. Here we go. So you're gonna exhale out. Inhale back, same side. Try not to rock your hips. Pretend there's a pitcher of water on your back or like a vase of beautiful flowers, right? And you don't want it to fall and crack. Exhale out. Inhale back. All right, we switch sides. Keep that position, right? We don't want to let your hips drop or disengage. We don't want to clench your glutes and tuck under. Exhale out. Inhale back. Still pressing up through the shoulder blade, reaching through the crown of your head. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, we're going to go back to your side planks. Come on to your side. All right, line that elbow up underneath the shoulder. Get that knee ready. We're going to scoot the knee back, maybe extend the top leg. And here we go. Come on up, turn your top hip in slightly. All right, and if you want to lift your leg, you can. Maybe just hold this, maybe you keep your knees together. We have 30 seconds here. Press up through that shoulder. And 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. All right, let's get the other side. Okay, let's get set up. In 3, 2, 1. Make sure you turn that top hip down slightly. If you want to reach your hand, I actually recommend reaching up over your head to help with this hollowing out of your abs. Make sure you stay rotated, and especially if you add that leg lift, you don't want to open up with that lift. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Nice work. So you should feel that right in your outer glutes, right? That's a lot of work. Okay, so we're going to come back into our bird dogs, right? So you want to make sure you're not super wobbly. And what I mean about press up through your shoulder is that when we lift opposite arm, opposite leg, I don't want you to sink into your shoulder. Come up nice and strong through it, right? So you don't want your scapula to wing back. You want to be pressing up like you're pushing through your armpit. Okay, so set yourself up, little zip up of those abs. Here we go. Exhale out. Maybe you're extended. Inhale back on the same side, 20 seconds. Switch sides. Nice and long through the crown of your head. And 3, 2, 1. Nice work, everybody. Let's do one more round of these. Okay, last round, last round. All right, so get that elbow under the shoulder. All right, we're gonna scoot this bottom knee back. And 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Turn that top hip in and down slightly. Make sure that elbow's under the shoulder. You're gonna reach up, come along, and then maybe you add that lift. So make sure your bottom knee's in a good position. If you need to reposition yourself, that's fine. Nice work. Last one, best one for these. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, let's get the other side. Okay, are we ready for this? And 3, 2, 1. Come on up. That little rotation in. Hollow those bottom abs, those side abs out. Don't forget about the zip up though, right? Too. Just because we're working the side doesn't mean the rest of it is going to take a break. It just isn't going to feel as intense as these side obliques. Ten seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, we're going to finish off with bird dogs, and then I'll get you started with your stretching. Okay, so let's get our setup, right? We're going to do our tabletop position. Pressing up through your shoulders, coming nice and long to the top of your head. Zip those abs up, so keep that neutral pelvic position. All right, so we're gonna meet, and if you feel like your hands are too wide, right, you want them right under your shoulders. Knees under your hips. And here we go. So we're gonna exhale out. Maybe your toe stays down. Inhale back. So you wanna make sure if you feel really wobbly, keep that toe down, right? Really think about that. You have like a tall stack of books on your back and you don't want them to topple over. 5 seconds and we switch. And 3, 2, other side. Nice smooth transition. Try not to wiggle your hips. Exhale out. Inhale in. Keep those low abs engaged, right? Don't let the low abs check out here. And 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right, awesome job. So what we're gonna do is a little bit of a different stretch here today. I'm gonna turn diagonal so you can see me a little bit better. So see how I'm sitting on my side? So I'd like you to sit on your side hip, like little kids sit when they're on the floor. You're gonna take one leg in front and one leg in on the side, okay? So you wanna get your front knee to about 90 degrees, your back knee to about 90 degrees. So you might have to push this back a little bit, extend at that hip flexor slightly, right? So you can see from the front, I'm sitting in this kind of like 90 degree, right? From the side, this is what you see. Okay, so from here, when I'm in this position, I'm gonna slowly walk my hands forward and then to the side, all right? So I want you to sink into this front hip as far as you feel like you can, right? I don't want you to push too far. So you feel a good stretch in your front hip. If you want to extend this back leg farther back to get more of a hip flexor stretch, you can. And try to breathe into your back, okay? So nice inhale, feel some expansion. And exhale. Inhale, feel some expansion. And exhale. Take one more nice deep breath here, and then we'll switch sides. You should feel a good stretch in that front hip. All right, switch sides. Let's get the other side. So try to get that 90. If you want to extend this hip farther back, might be a little bit of a different angle for your knee there, right? And then we're gonna reach across. Come down, feel a really great stretch in that hip and try to breathe into your back. If this is not landing for you, or if you're like, what the heck am I doing? Do a figure four stretch, okay? That's a great one. One more nice deep breath here. All right, nice work. So please continue on your stretching journey, right? So I want you to get the rest of your muscles all stretched out. And I think what I'm going to do is start labeling these classes with what exercises are in them. That way, when you go back to do potentially old workouts, or you're like, oh, I want to look through this repertoire, you're actually going to be able to see what the exercises are. So you have a little bit of a more informed decision instead of just choosing on a random one, because right now that's what they are. It just says a date. So I'm going to start labeling them. All right. Have a wonderful week, everybody.